Hey guys, Lewis Frost, Phobos Solutions, here at White Feather Precision Shooting Center in Ardmore, Tennessee. We're here with Trigger Time TV, going to give you a tactical tip. One of the things we see a lot of in our classes is people who have a lot of wasted motion during their draw stroke. One of the things that we really encourage is doing the same things repetitively, so under stress they are easier to replicate and reproduce. So when we see people loading a pistol, a lot of times what you'll see is new shooters come up to the line, and for their very first load of the day, or after a break, or after lunch, you'll see guys doing a lot of things that are really funky, and it's a lot of wasted motion. So one of the things we'll see is guys will draw their pistol and they'll come down in here and look down at the ground and kind of inspect their gun, then they'll come through and load it, and they've never actually done anything that replicates an actual motion during their draw stroke or during a firing sequence. So one of the things we can do, guys, is when we go ahead and start our initial loading procedure, if we look at it like a fundamental, we'll address it like we would the draw stroke, the magazine exchange with retention. And you can even incorporate a speed reload if you so choose. So depending upon the configuration of the gun will depend upon what skill sets you can replicate and try to duplicate. So we're starting right now with a gun with the slide closed, so we're now simulating loading the gun for the very first time. So you walk up to the class, you've unloaded all your firearms prior to the class, so the instructor gives you, hey guys, load and make ready. So what's gonna happen right now is we're gonna perform a basic draw stroke. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we're driving our gun out, we're aligning our sights, we're making sure everything's working and good and functional. We'll lock the slide of the rear, we'll physically inspect that that weapon is safe and empty. We'll reach on our person, grab the hardest to reach magazine, we'll insert it in the receiver with one fluid motion, we'll then push pull, let the slide go forward. Right now, you can use the loaded chamber indicator here on this IGFS Glock and make sure that it is loaded. You can now perform a magazine exchange with retention. You'll come in, exchange that magazine, store this magazine back on your person. If you only have 2, this one goes in the golden magazine pouch. If not, we would put it in the hardest to reach magazine pouch. From right here, you can perform a press check, bump that gun back into battery, scan left, scan right, and then holster. And now that is the way that we properly load a pistol. What have we done? We've replicated the draw stroke, a magazine exchange with retention, as well as reholstering and assessing our danger areas. Guys, for this or any more tactical tips, stay tuned to Trigger Time TV and visit Phobos Solutions. Thanks, guys.
Hi, folks. I'm Sumner with Glock. Glock takes firearm safety very, very seriously. And for this season of Trigger Time TV, we have joined with Trigger Time to cover safety segments on each episode. To start off with, we'll discuss the 4 basic rules of firearm safety. Everyone's been around firearms has heard these rules over and over again in some form or fashion. They're posted in our gun shops, at gun counters, and usually in several places on a gun range. We read them, but do we really understand what they're saying, or do we take them to heart? Rule number 1, handle all firearms as if they are loaded. Most people don't take this literally. When we know or think a firearm is unloaded, we have a tendency to treat it differently. For one, we have a tendency to point it in a direction that we would never point a loaded firearm. Rule number 2, always keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. We should adhere to this rule whether we know if the firearm is loaded or unloaded. This is one of the most important rules of firearm safety. If we unintentionally violate one of the other rules, this can make the difference between someone getting hurt or not. Rule number 3, keep your finger off the trigger and outside the trigger guard until the sights are aligned on a target and the decision to fire has been made. Our first tendency when we pick up a firearm is to put our finger on the trigger. We should train ourselves to keep the finger outside the trigger guard and along the frame or the slide. Not only when we're picking up the firearm, but also when we're drawing and holstering. Rule number 4, be certain of your target and verify the surrounding area is safe before you fire. Remember, you're responsible for all rounds that you send downrange. That includes those that hit the target and especially those that don't. This has been your firearm safety tip of the week from Glock and Trigger Time TV. I'm Sumner with Glock. Please practice these safety rules and stay safe out there.
Hey guys, Tim Burk with JTAC Ranch. I'm here with Nate Murr of Kinetic Development Group. Nate, you got an amazing looking bag here. My first thought was, during my career, several times I deployed Joint Chiefs of Staff directed missions, And when we got to the location, we disembarked the plane and all of us had the same looking bag, trying to be low key, and we just failed miserably. But it looks like you might have broken the code on that, so why don't you tell us about your bag here?
So this is a KDG Apparition Bag, and what's really different about it is obviously it's in a more overt color, it's red and black. What it does is it kind of stands out, and by standing out, it allows you to basically look in place. It's a bag full of features. You have a smaller pocket out here. We can keep smaller items like spare batteries, pistol mags, that kind of stuff. There's a mid-sized pocket here that'll actually fit an SBR upper, like a 10.5-inch upper. You got a suppressor sitting right there. It's lined with Velcro, so you can go ahead and put mag pouches that are Velcro back directly in there, so you can kind of build it to how you want it set up. There's a routing cable also for hydration bladder if you want to use that. Then you have the main pocket here, which is where all the fun is. This is where actually the weapon is stored. So the main compartment is also lined with loop Velcro, so you can go ahead and put mag pouches. There's also little holders that secure the rifle where you want it to be. It'll fit a 10.5-inch gun with an M4 stock all the way in, and it'll fit a 16-inch barrel with a law folder attached. So it'll fit a wide array of folding stock AKs, M4s, AR-15 style firearms, and basically what it allows you to do is carry what you need to carry.
Awesome. So what I see is a truly low visibility bag suitable for domestic or overseas work, and I would certainly carry it if I had the opportunity and chance to do so.
I would say it's as applicable for the guy going overseas doing a plainclothes mission as it is to the guy living in an apartment complex that doesn't want to be seen with a Pelican case to go to the range.
Nice. Guys, for more information on this bag and other kinetic development gear, go to kineticdg.com.